go.
Cash and flow.
Read this headline. Police.
Spears inadvertently hit himself.
Herself. Britney Spears is who we're talking about.
Oh, yeah, I watched the video.
I didn't watch the video, but
watched the
I
video.
love this headline.
Wait, inadvertently hits.
That's what the police is saying.
So
Spears
who-
inadvertently hit herself in Wembanyama's encounter.
Okay. All I saw was her running. Okay, so she looking like Britney Spears looks like. Which,
Okay.
by the way, dude,
Yeah.
I know there was this whole push about getting her out from under the control of her father. What is it? What's that word called? Not citizenship. Conservatism, or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, under the like financial and whatever control of the father.
Sure.
You know what? You know how they say that the truth normally sits somewhere in the middle of both sides?
Yeah.
In this case,
Yeah.
it's definitely in the middle of both sides.
What are you saying?
Because the way so like one side was
Yeah.
Britney Spears is fine. She's perfectly fine, and she's being abused by her father, who's controlling her assets and what she can do with her money, right? And other things that whatever. That's one side. The other side is, she is indeed crazy and needs all of these boundaries and guidelines, otherwise her life will implode. Those were the two camps, right? When you remove that from her from the conservative. Oh man, we need to find out what the word is. Turns out, if you go to Britney Spears' Instagram account, it's a crazy person's Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Fame and what people did to her along the way of becoming famous, and like all of the trauma she like went through and breakdowns and whatnot.
She's using social media wrong.
It accumulated, and this person's a broken person.
Oh no.
And she's just, I mean, I don't know. She was dating someone that was half her age and some other stuff. And like, it felt like those dudes were also taking advantage of her.
Right.
But like, there wasn't someone else to be like, hey, that person is taking advantage of you or whatever. There's nothing. And she's walking around naked and like, she's got so many like semi-naked, weird looking pictures on her own Instagram account that doesn't look like you're a pop queen at this point, right? Like, that's what I mean. Like you were, but like there's some legacy in there, right? And she's just acting like a regular.
She's on the Mount Rushmore of ladies that did that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, the Christina Aguilera and whatever of that era.
Madonna.
Arguably one of the biggest, right? At the time. But what you see on that Instagram account does not reflect the legacy, what she already has. Is because she's a little weird, dude. And so when she's running after this dude, she kind of looks already kind of like ragged.
Right.
Right? And then she ran up and I think she put her hand on his back.
Oh no.
Right? And then and then the security guard slapped her hand away. And then somehow they said that she got backhanded. We don't know. I can't see it in the video that she got backhanded. But now you're saying that the police says that Spears hit herself.
Right.
Which is, you know what? Here's the thing. If it was anyone else, I'd be like, impossible. How do you hit yourself? But it's Britney.
Maybe
it's Britney,
classically.
bitch.
Maybe classically. Is that a saying? It's Britney, bitch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the lyrics
I believe
of the song.
the way you said it, I'm like, that must be a saying.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
way you said it, I'm like, that must be a saying.
Yeah, it's the thing. Even people like yell it into. It's like an ad lib in one of her songs. It's Britney, bitch.
You know what? That's something they just saw a rapper do, and they're like, you could do it. She's like, yeah, I could do it. It's Britney. Also, maybe they did it classically. The security guard just got her hand. Like, get out of here.
If I do it this way, I can't get charged.
This is how I deal with assault cases in Texas.
Yeah.
I think it was in San Antonio. So.
It is funny. If he did grab her forearm and then slapped her with her own hand,
I know.
There's like a gray area. Who's hitting who?
I know. And how much damage can you inflict?
Not
on
much.
somebody with
Just
their
a
own
couple
hand?
taps.
Yeah, a few. You get tired too. So like, I think it's a good move. And it's hard to blame I can see Britney Spears thinking, I can go do this. I'm Britney Spears. I can go approach basketball and just touch him. And I can see security being like, who's this crazy white woman?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
Yeah.
No. I like have you seen the Jerry Seinfeld video? Was it Gaga that went up to her?
Yeah,
Him?
no, it was Kesha.
Oh yeah, Kesha. Can I give you a hug? He's like, no, thank you.
No, thank you. Oh, come on,
Please?
No. Oh my god, that was the best. And he goes, "Who was that? Who was that? The cashier. Okay."
As I've grown older,
Yeah.
I don't know why we gotta hug people to meet people.
Mm.
You know?
Because that's how people feel like they make a connection, bro.
Yeah, you can shake hands.
Yeah, I know. That's how That's how you are.
I've become less of a hugger as time has gone on.
And as time goes on, you'll become more of a hugger
Yeah, but then
because the estrogen kicks in as you get to your 60s.
Yeah, okay, that's when we get some testosterone replacement therapy.
Just turn that estrogen down.
Yeah, I'm gonna be handshakes and no, I like hugging my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that it was a time like it seems like as time has gone on, there's like more and more hugging now.
Oh, I know.
To meet people.
I'm going to Mexico on Sunday for a work thing, and I know these people are going to want to hug you, and they're all from every part of the world. But you gotta side hug people. You're just like, hey.
Yeah, I don't like hugging people.
Yeah.
So it happens a lot in your company?
It happens in, yeah.
Our company is no hugging.
You're not a tech company, though.
No,
You're a
we're
company
old.
you're old. You're old.
Yeah.
You're at an old company. It's like insurance company. It's
Yeah,
different. It's
yeah.
a different vibe. My company, our average age is under 30.
Mm-hmm. So it's hugging.
And yeah, that's how these people say hello.
Yeah.
You get to 40, you're just like, hello.
Yeah.
I'll give you a nice nod, you know?
I'm okay with a
dignified.
nod. I'm okay with a handshake. Regardless of the sex, I'm okay if you want to do a handshake.
Sure.
But most of the time, a nod is enough.
Mm.
Right? I don't want to. Sometimes when you hug people and then you walk away, I get this problem because of my nose,
Mm-hmm.
but I can smell them on me for a while.
Yeah. You should tell them
I don't
that.
like that.
Like, hi. And they're like, no, let's hug. And you're like, actually, I could smell you on me for a while. And trust me, like, you don't even know what I'm dealing with over here. I hugged somebody yesterday.
It's still in my nostrils. Dude.
I know they had Korean food. Also had some Korean food. It's fantastic.
Where'd you get it from?
Toronto is a place. Don't even worry about the title. It was on Bloor and by Midori. Midori is a sick ramen place, and it was right by there,
Okay,
right by
cool.
Midori. But
What'd you get?
I got this chicken that it's all halal, and they were like had one chili by it. I'm like, is this spicy? They're like Korean mild.
Right.
It was so spicy I couldn't smell it.
Okay.
Right? It was this fried chicken that was wet with rice.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my buddy smell it, who's Punjabi, and he's just like, gosh. He's new to the country. He goes, gosh. And I was like, yeah, bro, I don't know what's happening here.
Okay.
And I said, this is spicy, and they just gave me a bunch of pineapples.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, okay, I guess you fixed it.
Yeah. Have you been training your spice thing? Okay, so maybe that's
I
what
got
happened.
I got way more stuff to train than my spice.
Maybe that's what happened. You've become. Here's the thing, right? Is my in-laws apparently are under the impression that I don't like eating spicy food, right? I'm not really sure how their wires got crossed into thinking that, I was very sensitive to spicy food.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we brought it up once or twice. That's when my mom was coming over,
Right.
right? That's it,
Yeah.
right? And they keep worrying about it. I keep eating it, no problem. My wife is the one who's sneezing. Excuse me, and with her eyes are watering and things like that. I'm like, you can't even eat your mom's food anymore. It's because I haven't been eating spice,
Bro.
You gotta keep eating a little bit of spice. You know what? This is what I do, right?
Yeah.
You get the Pocky chips
Right.
with the ghost chili
Okay.
every once in a while.
Right.
Did I tell you about this?
Yeah.
In wintertime,
Yeah.
it's my pre-workout.
Oh, you did not tell me about this. I'll make fun of this. Keep going.
Okay, so when it's cold outside, you don't want to go outside to the gym because you've already come from work. It was cold, then you came home. Now you're comfortable again. So making yourself go back out again, if you're going to jiu-jitsu or whatnot, you don't want to go because you're already comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Eat 2 of these chips. The internal temperature goes through the roof, and then you don't even feel cold if you walked out without a jacket,
Right.
right? Because inside is burning.
Right.
So I just do 2 of those, and I'm good to go.
You do jiu-jitsu, you're coming back out of the gym, you diarrhea yourself because that's what needs to be done at this point, and then you're warm going to the car.
Yeah, see, there you go. Right in
Full
your pants.
cycle.
Right in your pants.
We should be sponsored by Pocky. Is it Pocky or Pock?
Yeah, we had an episode where we ate the whole thing while we were talking.
Yeah, and I diarrheaed after. I'm positive I had a problem later. And I think if a company's like upfront about that, I want to buy that chip.
I mean, it does do what it says it do.
You are Pockying.
It is hot.
Yeah, man.
We never got our hands on that single chip challenge.
Yeah, that was.
It's because it's $40 a
Yeah,
chip.
yeah. Get your cup out of there. You're jiggling your ice all over the place with your matcha.
I mean, I'm just running on so much low energy.
Why? What you been doing? You didn't sleep? You raised a baby?
No, I haven't. It's I don't know. Just haven't been able to sleep well for the last like 4 days in a row.
Damn.
Just constantly waking up at like 2 and 3 in the morning.
Oh man, you have trouble going back?
Yeah, that's the problem with sleeping.
No, you can just wake up and go back to sleep, but you do that twice, it leaves an imprint. Trust me.
Yeah.
2 quick pees and 2 quick sleep. You're just like, did I?
I didn't even sleep.
Dude,
Yeah, so it's been interrupted.
geez.
And I'm overheating.
You're overheating. You're getting up sweaty.
It's very uncomfortable to get up.
Do you wear
sweaty.
socks?
No.
Interesting.
Okay. Do you have a follow-up point to that, or
No,
is
I'm
it-
just wondering. Sometimes you wear socks. If you wear socks and you're like, yeah, I'm overheating, then I would say.
Oh, it's because of the socks.
It seems
okay.
like a pretty straightforward
No,
chain
no,
of-
okay, because I didn't someone say that you're supposed to put socks on, but then sleep in a room that's cold?
That's what you told me, bro, like 2 months ago.
No, I didn't tell you that.
You said cold head and warm feet.
Yeah. But that's the Koreans. The Koreans said that.
You said it to me. Okay? You have to take some ownership at some point.
The
You're like, I didn't
Koreans
say
said
that.
it.
The Korean said it. I'm just saying what the Korean said.
The Koreans said it. That's the reason why they
I
set
was
up
on the
their
phone
house.
with you, Mo. I was driving, and you said it to me, okay?
So the Koreans, they set up their house so that their fireplace vents underneath the house, which then in turn heats up the floor. So they don't have central heating in a lot of the houses over there. They have the floor is heated, but what that means is that there's a differential in temperature in the room where your head would be, it would be cooler.
Yeah.
And where your feet are, it's warmer. It's better for your system.
Sounds like a recipe to get snakes or lizards to come over and be like, because I feel like I'd want to just lay down. I'd just be laying down
yeah, that's
in
true.
my tiny room
Yeah.
and just be like, oh,
I don't know. All of the Korean houses I saw were pretty clean. I wouldn't see no
I can
lizards there.
imagine. If they're anything like the Japanese, I imagine. I think these negative, like these stereotypes, are gonna get out of
I think
hand.
they hate each other, right?
Oh, I'm sure they do. But if
Yeah.
I go to a Korean person's place and it's messy, I'd be like, they're
Mhm.
not even trying to be
Yeah.
what they are, you know?
Yeah. I judge the level of like what type of brown you are with regards to how clean your house is, right? And also, there's a difference between a messy house as a result of a child and a messy house.
I mean, yeah, you go to a single person's messy house and you're just like, this person just should.
Because a messy house with a kid still has cleanliness in the vibe of the house, right? You're not be able to do it, but like if you have toys and you have stuff around, that's one thing, right? But if you have spilt syrup that's on the wall for a while,
Right.
I say that's on you.
That's on you, baby.
Yeah, if your towel smells like fungus,
Nope. Yeah, those all the towels you wipe your face and then it stays on you.
yeah, you
That's,
walk out, you still smell. You're still smelling something.
If you were to review, you've reviewed this place in your head now. You're like 1 star.
Yeah. Never doing would do here again.
Anytime I go to like a single buddy's house that lives alone, you walk in, you're like, this smells like you, and you don't open the window, and I'm like, you have become numb. I'll tell them like, you've become numb to the smell in here.
Yeah.
And they're like, really? And I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah. This is the reason why when you do would do over here and you come walking out dripping, right? I'm like, hey man, you should use the towel because I know that towel's fresh. How many times have you walked in that washroom and I'm like, I'll go get you a towel right now.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's only fresh towels
Yeah,
for the
I'm
people
like,
who use the washroom.
I got clothes on. I know where to wipe myself.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
It's not in this household. We give
No.
you a new towel.
New
You
towel.
don't walk out of this house thinking that a towel is moldy in this house,
No.
right? It's a fresh towel all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, we take that real seriously.
I can tell, man.
The whole family's like that. My parents are like that too. Like, if they think that you're going to the washroom, they'll be like, "Did you give him a towel?"
Yeah. Must be. Is it like a Dessert thing or is it like a Mauritius? Is it a French thing? What is this?
I think it's an overall Mauritian thing. Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna start judging Mauritians by their towels.
You should.
I only know like 4 or 5, so
I mean, and how many of those people are going to their house?
none.
Yeah.
None really. I can go to Shamil's house and maybe Riyadh's house. Riyadh and I see each other every week now, so
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. Well, you're not gonna.
those
go
are
to
my
his house.
Mauritians.
Yeah.
Got 3.
Yeah. I'm the best one.
Easily. I mean, you're taller than them.
Thanks, bro.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sure you can think of a couple other.
You can run faster. You can probably lift more than both of those guys.
Right. I'm working on fighting.
I would take you in a slap competition. Definitely. Oh my god, I'd love to see.
Both of those guys are like they're Mauritian. They're
Wow.
Mauritian styles. They're Mauritian sizes.
Yeah,
Those guys are Mauritian size.
they're normal brown person size, dude.
Yeah.
Shamil looks like he could be from where we're from. Like he looks like he could from Bihar.
Yeah. Good head of hair.
Yeah. On the other side, Riyadh, I don't know. He's got this twinkle in his eye. He could be from anywhere. He's got
Yeah,
this.
man. That guy was always cool.
Yeah, yeah.
He also always smoked.
I think he still does. Hanging out with them. We had some time between games yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, these kids. It's interesting. Like nobody under 30 that I know for the most part. There's some comment. Like, most people don't smoke. But this is this age where I'm like, man, you.
Still?
Like, yeah, I'm like, when did you start? He's like, when I was, it's like something like,
Bro, you started
like
with
4 or something. I'm like, what? Ever since I knew how to do this with a lighter,
Yeah,
God
man.
bless
That's what I remember. I was a child when I saw him smoke. I'm like,
Yeah.
I think it was outside of a banquet hall or something.
It's probably been going like, I think it's just your body, just kind of gets used to like, okay, this part of our lung is dead. We're gonna land it here and then use the rest of the lung.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right.
I know people that are in their 60s, they smoke. Make no sense.
No, it doesn't.
And you see like healthy people have all sorts of problems.
That's how you start making meth in a lab.
What do you mean?
Breaking Bad.
No, but what do you mean? Oh, because to help with
no, it's because like you were healthy and you got it, and then other people who's like chain smoke and they don't have lung cancer.
Yeah.
You're like, well, fuck it. Let me go make meth in the lab and sell it.
I mean, that's pretty dire when that's that's your best option, but sometimes that's
I mean, American healthcare.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Right.
I guess it can drive you to make meth.
Great series.
There might be some other options along the way.
I don't know, man.
None of them would yield an amazing, TV show.
Yeah, or like return on investment.
Yeah, if he makes a great online business, starts like selling dog toys, it's not as fun.
No, it's not. Also, not as profitable.
You don't know.
Yeah.
I think at the beginning of the pandemic, there were some opportunities. People took some
I
nice
wonder how
bets.
many pets got abandoned after the pandemic was over. Because I can't imagine that many people are good pet owners that picked up pets during that time.
It depends. It depends, like, completely, like, what kind of individual you are.
Yeah. I wonder what's the
Because
average.
for some people, it's like, this is my friend now, right? And some people are like, I have to go back to work.
Yeah.
I don't have the privilege of being like, I'm not going, I'm accustomed to 0 days in the office.
Yeah.
And what do? Like, you just leave you're going to be out all about. Some people have traveling jobs. Of course, you got to put them somewhere.
Yeah,
And
don't get the pet.
It's
tough.
dude, at the beginning, it looked like it was going to be forever. There was a point where it seemed like it was going to be, it didn't look like we were going to go back to this.
Yeah.
And, you're alone. You always wanted a dog
Yeah.
or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What do? Didn't you think about getting something? We got a baby, dude. I mean, people made some life decisions after the first few months.
Yeah,
of the
I got
pandemic.
married.
Well, I mean, yeah. That's.
During
I don't
COVID,
think
I
you
got
were
married.
like, it's a pandemic. I might as well get married. But like, we were like, what do we? And like, this might be an easy time to have a baby because we're just home all the time.
It's home all the time, yeah.
It's the same reason we were gonna either get that or possibly like a pet.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, let's get.
No, I'm just saying that it's easier to abandon a pet than a child. So as a result
Definitely.
of that, I feel like there's a fair bit that got abandoned during that time.
Oh, I think probably hundreds, but like I also I'm like, what were your options? Like, like you gotta abandon your pet. If you gotta go out and make a living, you gotta let go. It's gonna be a tough one. But I read there was a huge spike in dog pounds and animal shelters being overrun with dogs and cats.
Yeah.
It's like, and less cats than dogs.
Because cats can be like, you're going to work now? We didn't notice.
Yeah. And also, like, they don't talk. A dog might be barking in an apartment for hours.
Yeah,
and
that's
if
true.
people are like, hey, man, your dog was home
Yeah,
all
it's
day.
crazy, yeah.
Yeah. We had that in our building.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. It was just a dog that would, every time you go throw away the trash, this dog is barking.
Oh, okay.
And people would let management know, like, there's just a dog here all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Without a human.
and then that person and one day the dog wasn't there. I don't think they cooked him. I think they took him to the pound. And they were like, here you go.
Sad.
Here's Johnny back. Johnny was like,
Sad.
I was doing so well.
Yeah. What was that? What's the thing? It was like one day of a dog. 1 day for a dog is like a week or something.
Yeah, dog years.
Yeah. So like, dude, that's gotta be sad for the dog, right? You're like,
Yeah.
hey man, I thought we liked each other, and now I gotta be in this cage outside
I
trying
don't
to
know what you're doing outside this door the whole time anyways. I'm in here. Dog doesn't understand anything.
Yeah.
I've seen Fafa and Elka, like Fafa would leave and the dog would sit there and just cry.
Yeah.
Like literally the dog is crying, sitting on the foot of the doormat with his shoes. I was just like, see, like this dog has a attachment problem.
Yeah.
And dogs
Yo,
are-
they actually apply the different attachment styles to like the cats. There was that documentary, and they have different, and they've been able to determine cats with different attachment styles based on sort of their upbringing, the way how their owner deals with them, and then also the country, like the general like overall vibe of the country. Yeah, so like Japanese cats are more reserved versus American cats, who are more like more adventurous or whatever. And so they did the exact same studies in various countries for different cats and things like that. But yeah, they have like, and they have like tips on how for you to like, if you have a bad attachment style or your cat has a bad attachment style, what can you do for you to be able to get it to a good attachment style?
This is like the 5 love languages, but for cats. It's like, this is your cat's love language.
Yeah.
People love their freaking animals, bro. That's what I'm
do.
saying. There's some money. People will do stuff for animals that they barely do for their babies.
What do we got for you? All right. Husband's not 8 years old yet, but you might want to look out for this.
2. I observe all kids of different ages. I'm like, this
OMG.
massive golden eagle tries to fly off with an 8-year-old. Oh, is this real? What language are you hearing? Horse shows up.
I think Mongolia, maybe? Not Mongolia.
It's Hispanic.
Yeah.
They're wearing cowboy hats, riding horses.
There was an attempt.
Thank God that kid is 8.
And not 3.
Yeah. Also, you know, what are these people doing? Just watching? Is this a bait? That's how we catch our golden eagles. Didn't they get it?
I have no idea. Here it is. Here it flies. And then just tries to like huff it with this baby.
So I don't think this is what it is. It almost, is it, you know when you go to African lion safari?
Yeah.
And they're like, this bird's going to land here?
Yeah.
And you just stand there like this?
Right.
This looks closer to that.
So you think they put an 8-year-old kid to hold like the glove?
Look at the rest of the people. They seem so calm. Like everybody gathered to see this almost. Watch, like as it goes.
Maybe they were there for falconeering.
Falconeering, it's true.
Right.
Or like they
just
don't give
walk
2
away.
shits about this girl. As the other option. There's these cars here. This guy's just sitting here. He hasn't moved a flinch. And they got the eagle.
Yeah, they do.
That's the thing. I'm like,
I feel like maybe they wanted the eagle to go somewhere else, and then this kid was just in the middle of the flight path, right? Because like that guy looked like he was pretty quick,
he's
right?
Yeah,
I
he's
think he was the
real
one who was supposed to receive the eagle.
Yeah, maybe you know what? Yeah, it's like,
Oh my god!
what a world we live in. That we have to like.
Here we go. There's a trot over. Are you okay, kiddo?
Where's that kid's parent? Is that it? No one's kicking the eagle. Like son of a. That guy's like, yeah. Let me go talk to this eagle.
We don't do that.
We don't do that.
Right. Let me see. Wait, what? I even forgot what I saved for you.
Did you see?
Oh my god! It slapped a fish out of the water, and the bird is like, "Oh, all right, bet."
This is a Disney movie. Come on, right? That should be a Disney movie.
Yeah.
It's like a dolphin got separated his pod, made a bird friend, right?
Yeah.
And
Take
then
this.
they have a partnership.
Dude, you know how hard he's got to hit a fish for it to fly that high up?
I think if you kill a fish, I think it floats to the surface, and I think you smack it. This is from what I saw a whale do to a seal.
Okay, so you think that you kill it first?
Yeah.
You get
Because
to-
yeah,
still,
unless,
a seal is heavy as
unless
frick.
unless you're fantastic, right? Unless like you're like, I'm just gonna get this fish to go to the top. That's my whole game. I mean, I
Right.
think you have all day
Right.
to get it just right, you know.
Still, dude, I mean, like, if you had a fish, let's say even 10-pounder,
Yeah.
right? 10-pound fish, and
Yeah.
you try to slap it to go up
Underwater, dude. No doubt. That's a professional fish slapper right there, dude. That's.
That's what I'm saying. It was
I would
fantastically
take
strong.
a fish. I think a dolphin would slap the shit out of one of those slap competitions. I would take a good dolphin.
It'd
over
be
a
too
man.
hard for you to set that up. Right.
I don't know how much time do I. If I can have 2 generations of dolphins, I can go pretty quick.
So you're thinking that you'd have to train the dolphin for it to breathe air, pull it out
No,
of the tank.
I just bring its tail out. I just figure it out, dude. I think you can.
No, but you mean like you need
Or
to
a
have
guy would have to get their face just to this
right to the water.
right to the water, and then we hold the dolphin. Bet's a bet, baby.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get hit by it. Speaking of slaps, here's an actual slap.
Yes.
But this one is by a killer whale.
Look at this.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Boom. It's so weird that a stingray's that far above,
Bro, here's the thing.
Look
At the approach angle. The wind up. Wow, it knows what it's doing. 100%. Perfect lineup. There's so many adjustments that needs to be made for his approach to do this properly.
And I don't think the stingray has ever had this happen to him. Like, why would he do that? Why? I thought he was gonna bite me. Why did he? Also, they got this from 3 angles. They just kept putting this stinger. Like, we should put it here. He's probably gonna eat it. Boom.
Kajow! Oh
my
man,
God.
it folded that thing. Yikes.
Yeah. That's what we had.
Killer whales.
Yeah, we ate something very close to that.
We had a skate. You think that's a skate?
That's a skatefish.
That's a skatefish? And
It's
not
like a
a sting?
category.
It's not a sting?
Those are very similar.
They're similar.
It's the same body type. So
Yeah.
it's like saying like one bird to another. It's just like we did have a slightly different, but it's still a bird. It's a bird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, kind of thing. I'm gonna just go with that. I'm pretty sure that's what I read. But whatever. If you're a fishmonger, let me know. If you're a fishmonger with an Instagram channel,
Here's the thing.
we're out here.
Chicken and turkey. Tastes really different.
Duck too. Duck tastes different than both of those. Duck is messed up.
Excuse me. I don't even think I've had duck before. It's
Partridge?
oily. No, I think I might have had it.
Yeah, it is oily. Partridge, smaller chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And then some places I've been to, French places, chicks. They put chicks on the menu.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that.
Bro, just give it 1 month. Like, how long is it a chick? Like, why are you just gonna let it?
It's the same thing as veal.
Yeah, that's stuff. I don't know. I don't know what to say to people.
It's the same thing, dude. I don't even know what to say either.
Yeah.
I went to my in-laws' place.
Yeah.
We had chops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had chops.
Mhm.
Like, oh, what is this? Like, it's veal.
Yeah.
And I paused as I was chewing. And I'm like, not enjoying this anymore.
So this is what I did. Okay, so I went to the in-laws. Something similar happened.
Yeah.
And my father-in-law was like, "Oh, this is veal."
Mm.
I was like, "Oh, you mean baby cow?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh yeah, I think so." I was like, "Yeah, it's a baby cow," and then they make sure it doesn't move a lot. But at the very least, they just keep it a baby, and then they kill it before it gets too big. That's why it's so tender, because a baby, you're eating a baby. And he's like, "Oh."
Wow, you really
And then
reiterated
I
that.
came back 2 weeks later, and we were having baby cow again. It didn't go anywhere. He's like, "Oh, he just thought I was giving him a recipe for how to make tender baby cow." He's like,
we need
baby
more
cow.
of this.
I was like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, all right."
Right. What happened is that you explained it too much to the point where he thought you were interested.
Yeah, I think he thought it was an enthusiast. I'm just trying to paint a picture of.
Yeah, I went the other way. I didn't say anything. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna eat the chicken now.
Yeah, hey man, people, everybody's on their own path.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I can't what's the morality between the fact that, eating the kid version of it versus the adult version? Like, I don't know how I'd be able to explain it. All I know
Yeah.
is that it feels like
You can probably make a case both ways.
Yeah.
You can probably make a case like, oh, it's better to kill it as a baby because it's a horrible existence.
I mean, who knows, right? What if it's like open range, grass fed with like the fences that move around in the pasture?
I mean, if you're getting to any sort of ultimate conclusion, it's way more horrible to kill a baby. If you're ultimately trying to get to it, it's just like you can argue anything from every angle.
Yeah.
But yeah, captivity isn't.
Yeah, it's also the worst thing is the thing that they don't want them to move too much.
Most places are like that for huge amounts of time, and even transporting animals is done in a very horrible way, to the point where they have laws in certain countries that you can't do it at night because they're very disoriented. Not here or the States, but in Europe, you actually have laws of how and when you transport animals and all of that. Yeah, it's a horrible existence. We're all going to go to hell.
Bro,
What's up?
that being said, have you seen there's duck shepherds that bring ducks from one place to another for them to eat like all the slugs and whatnot? But they
No.
so ducks kind of like they follow instructions for you can shepherd ducks. You could just get ducks and shepherd them into a truck, and then you can open the truck and you can shepherd them down a path and
If you're their
into a
mom.
thing. Yeah.
right?
But like, no, I'm seeing like hundreds, if not thousands of ducks in this flock.
I wonder how they do that.
And they're just shepherding.
Maybe you
these
become mom to like a few dozen, which
and
is
then the
pretty
rest,
easy.
And then the rest of them just buy in.
Yeah, they're like, all right, these guys seem to be about that life. This guy seems nice.
If we follow them, we get food.
Yeah, dogs. Have you seen dogs shepherd ducks?
It's the greatest thing.
Dude, those dogs are the best dogs.
It's the greatest thing.
Border collies normally. Australian sheepdogs.
Yeah, it did. This is what pulled up. I was trying to find duck.
Duck shepherding.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie Pig?
No.
No,
What is
the
it
movie
about?
Pig?
No. I mean, it seems very haram.
Well, you don't have to eat it, right? That's not the whole movie. It's just,
I just don't like. You know what? I don't like looking at it.
I'm with you. Yeah, I get it.
Right? Oink,
It's
oink and whatnot. I can watch wild boar do wild boar shit.
all right.
But like the pinkish,
Yeah,
like only like the pink version
the
of
fetishized version.
yeah,
of
I
the
mean,
pig.
the naked one. Yeah, I can't do it. It looks weird.
It does look weird. Yeah, it shepherds sheep.
Wait, what?
Yeah, this pig.
Oh,
in the
this
movie.
pig. Yeah.
Yeah, and it talks to them.
Mm-hmm. Is it because he wants to be a dog?
I think so.
Like he's got friends as dogs.
I think the owner. Yeah, man. It's, I'm not watching that movie twice. It's from the 90s.
All right, here we go.
What are you watching?
I don't know, bro. Watch it.
Drone footage follows 1,000 ducks cleaning rice paddies in Thailand.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks beautiful.
Look at them go.
Look at him go.
Their job's to devour pests such as snails hiding in the rice stubble.
Ooh.
This way of cleaning the rice paddies is a tradition in the region and other parts of Thailand. See, look, they all kind of follow the same path. This is called Ped Lai Tong, which means field chasing ducks. Man, it's this particular breed of duck, huh?
That's a lot of ducks.
Like I said, thousands.
I think these ducks are just out.
The
I don't
benefit for
think
the
they're-
breeder is that we reduce costs to feed the ducks, and we don't need to feed them until they're grown up.
How do you keep them, Apiwat? How do you not have them fly away in the name of freedom?
So they helps farmers reduce the use of chemicals and pesticides.
Yeah, Texas has this with goats. They bring in goats for like these fields, and the goats just eat everything.
So they move around from rice field, like different places. Look at all the
Dude, they're going,
yeah. There's so many of them. There's like all these bugs and stuff.
and you just get all the poop.
They eat golden apple snails and the remains of unwanted rice husks.
I love these names. Prongs Sippy Pat.
Makes it easy to plow all of these little ducks.
After how long in a nursery?
20 days.
These are really young ducks.
Mhm. Man, it's like the good life.
For
Look
a
at 'em
while,
go.
brother. But what do you think happens after 2 months?
I mean, you got to eat. They're roaming free for about 5 months until they return to duck farm and produce eggs for up to 3 years.
well, this doesn't look that bad.
And look at them go, hup, 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 hup. Up the ramp, boys.
Jeez, they got a pretty solid operation of these ducks.
I don't know. There's something fun about this.
This is a good movie. They could make a movie out
I
of
think
this.
they could. Also, like, we're gonna put a GoPro inside this little thing here.
This looks horrible now.
I mean, this is not great.
The music is still like doo 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 doo. They're like,
Bro. Yeah, thousands of ducks though. Look at it. You can shepherd all of them.
yeah, man,
Damn.
like they do with us.
Yeah, that's how I felt going to university,
Yeah,
waiting on the platform on the GO train, and then especially when it's morning and everyone's bleary eyed, no one
Yeah.
wants to talk,
yeah.
and then the doors open and everyone just kind of like funnel into the door and like take 2 steps, 2
Yeah.
steps, 2
I'm like,
steps.
we're
2 steps,
cattle.
2
We're
steps.
cattle.
You get inside, you just hold onto the thing, you're half asleep, just
Oh my
rocking
God.
back and
You
forth.
see people sleeping constantly.
Yeah, and then after the doors open again, and then you just bleary eyed, just walk to the door again, and then walk out.
Don't even look out. You know where you're going, and you'll
Dude.
wake up when you get there.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad. I understand. Like I get it. Obviously, we need to work and we need to get a living and make money and stuff like this.
No,
but
we don't.
The pathway in which we do it
Yeah.
seems like it's taking some of our humanity out of us.
Bro, this is an experiment on how we're doing it, man.
Yeah.
This is what they came up with.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, we make it about things, and that's how everybody goes to work, and things move forward.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the best way to do it.
No, I don't think so either. But
Should be Enterprise.
it seems weird.
Everybody has a purpose, you know? Make sure it's a closed loop. Unlimited energy, holograms, Klingons.
Yeah, Star Trek is amongst the many franchises that have been destroyed. Can you check who owns Star Trek now?
Gene Roddenberry. You mean who owns like the studio?
The rights to make more.
Sure. Who owns the rights to Star Trek? And the answer, ladies and gentlemen, is Viacom, parent owner Paramount.
All right, so check this out.
Yes.
Marvel
Yep.
has been essentially destroyed.
Oh no. Who was it?
As of right now.
Thanos?
No. Kathleen Kennedy is at the helm of
From the
Marvel.
Kennedys?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No, she worked with Steven Spielberg, and she was, I forgot what her previous position was for Spielberg, but apparently fantastic at her job, right? And then and as time has gone on, she's moved on to like the head of Marvel. Dude, not doing a good job, especially this last phase has been horrible because of like not. They're not respecting any lore. They are inserting themselves into storylines as opposed to following storylines that are already established. And then even how they develop their character. No one goes through character journeys. Everyone is perfect as it is, and the world has to then realize how awesome that new character is. Whereas, a sense of loss and then a sense of like a search for finding and being better and things like that. Your regular hero's journey, because they're all like the comic book heroes. And unfortunately, as a result of this mismanagement of storytelling, and really trying to pander towards like a woke market, as instead of just pandering towards not even like the nerds. No, we don't even worry about that. Good storytelling. That is the nuance here. The nuance here is like a respect for good storytelling and characters that you feel like you can invest in, exactly, and connect with, regardless of whether or not they're male or female. Doesn't matter. If you really take a step back and look at what's actually happening, it is a de-evolution of storytelling, and also coupled with that is taking legacy characters and then undoing about their character just for them to be able to portray them as someone who has like lost their way, or they're like an old person and they're disgruntled and whatnot. And essentially what they've done is that they undo all of the achievements of this character and the lessons they learned over the last 20 years of this franchise being around. They undo it just so that they can prop up a new character, and then by contrast show how shitty the old character is.
Got it.
So when you do that, you essentially just you make legacy fans and the true, like the people who've been following this type of content for so long, be like, hey, those are our heroes, right? Tell new stories without completely like denigrating our old heroes. You don't have to do that for you to be able to move the story forward. And this has happened time and time again. So they did that in Marvel, where they've denigrated Thor, where Thor is not even coming back. They did it to Steve Rogers, the Captain America character. They've done it. They didn't do it to Spider-Man, but that's because it's Sony. Then Indiana Jones just came out, and it's helmed as one of the worst Indiana Jones movies ever.
A flopbuster.
Dude, worse than Crystal Skull. Okay? And it's exactly the same thing. They have a new character who is perfect in every way, who is now slated to take the position of the older hero. And then the older hero is now a alcoholic who doesn't have any really love for like the adventures and things that he was doing before. And then this new perfect character teaches the old hero how to be a hero once again, but then also get replaced as well.
Yeah.
They've done that to Star Wars in what they've undone for like Princess Leia and not freaking Anakin.
Darth Vader.
Skywalker.
Skywalker.
The main one. And they've done that as well too. Kind of like, again, you denigrate them for you to prop the new characters, and the new characters don't really have a story where you can connect with because they're already perfect in the first place.
Yeah.
So Star Wars has lost money for the first time in its being
Right.
when Solo came out.
Yeah.
Like they've lost, and now they're consistently losing money. Mandalorian was big right off the beginning, and they also are losing ground to the point where I think only 30% are clearing the final, like that last season.
Jeez.
So out of the 100 people, if you take the sample of 100 people as the ones who started watching it, only 30 came to the end. John Favreau is leaving the project.
Jeez.
Everyone's just leaving because it's not good. None of this storytelling is good. Which then comes to this Brights point. We got some good movies coming out because it's made by people who care about movies. We got Mission Impossible.
Yep.
Part 1 of 2. It doesn't matter what the name is.
Part 1. Oh, I see. Like part 1 of 2 of Mission Impossible 9 or something.
Yes, I think
All right.
7.
I think so.
7.
Feels like
Right?
9.
Doesn't matter. Keep making them, Tom Cruise. I love it. So there's that. There's Oppenheimer.
That's gonna be
Christopher Nolan's movie. Amazing. Can't wait for that. Apparently Barbie's amazing,
I hear really good things about Barbie.
right? I missed Spider-Man, which I'm going to watch.
Gotta watch that.
Mario made it made over $1 billion in the box office.
Yep.
Versus whatever the counterpart Disney movie at the time was, is like a fraction of what Mario made. And it's a problem because when Pixar was coming out with movies, remember back in the day when Pixar was coming out movies, they were slamming these movies on the table and going, "Watch this shit.
It's true.
This is the best thing you've seen."
One after another like it was just it was one of those like in the 90s those Disney streaks of movies where you're like, "Oh, we're going to give you Lion King and then Pocahontas and then make you cry right now."
Yeah.
Will you?
The way how Pixar was making movies back then. There's a book about them. I forgot what the book's called. Fantastic book. Essentially, the way Disney made a deal with Pixar in such a way that Pixar had to make every movie they made would have to be better than the last one, and it had to be amazing for them to even just exist.
Wow.
And they just knocked it out of the park. That Monsters Inc. Finding Nemo, every single one was better than the one before.
Yep.
And really, a lot of those ideas came out from like one sit down. I don't know if you heard about this. I believe this is true. I'm not 100% certain. But they were sitting down and on a napkin, they wrote the storylines, made the overview of like 4 of the movies. Nemo, Monsters Inc. I forgot which ones. But it's actually written on a napkin. And so like same minds that build out these stories they all work together in the very beginning. And the team at Pixar was very small back then. But yeah, it's a weird time now, especially for like, Disney, because like we're so used to Disney being on top.
Yeah.
You win. They win. That's what they used to do. They win. And now they're losing. They are hemorrhaging money. They are going through multiple rounds of layoffs, and their movies are not making any money.
Damn.
Yeah.
What do you think? Like goes away for a while, comes back 12 years later. It's really good for a while and then really horrible, right? Like, is this a cycle?
You know what? I don't know enough about the entertainment industry for me to know what type of cycle it is.
Because it happened to like Batman, it happened to. I know those superhero movies are different from these, but it was interesting to see these versions from the 80s, 90s to the 2000s and stuff.
This is true. Yeah, I don't know how it goes and how they're going to be delivered from it, because it is interesting because so Disney and these people who follow Disney to the point where like they're mad fans of Disney as a company, right? They go to Disney World, they're like 26 years old and they're crying because they went to Disneyland. Those people are different than the masses that just watch Disney movies. They take their kids out and they watch it. Your relationship with Disney is not a ride or die. It's more of like, it's a fun thing for the kids to watch, and we like enjoying watching it. I think there's 2 things, and I think what the company Disney is trying to do is they think that by making their super fans happy, who will swallow it like bullshit comes their way, and they'll be like, "This is amazing, Disney." They're trying to make them happy, and as opposed to like when they were doing widely not widely accepted, when their target audience was as wide as possible.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of times when they make a bad movie, sometimes it's not accepted because it's such a step away from what hardcores wanted, and other times they make a bad movie and it's received as something that's far away from what the mainstream would want. It's like at the end of the day, you might be just making a bad. If you make a good movie that's catering to either one, everybody can see it and be like, okay, I know this is like references I don't understand and characters that, but like they still come along. But I think they're just reacting to making bad movies by
making more bad movies.
Not understanding why they're bad.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
So yeah, I like to see, like, you give it a good 10 years, some of these people,
So
die.
yeah, no, true. The interesting thing is with regards to the Marvel superheroes. So in the comic book era, before it got picked up by studios for them to make movies, the comic books went through a phase of like, these are awesome comic books. Like it was like Golden Age, which is much older, and like in the 70s and 80s. And then in the 90s into the 2000s, it was getting to a place where they actually created like characters called Snowflake. And like they had pronouns, and it was very woke, and it was very like inclusive and all this other stuff. And essentially what had happened is, because the focus towards identity politics and whatnot versus telling good stories yet again, what they did was they tanked their own market. And so the comic book era, like the comic book scene, died in like the early 2000s. Because of that, they weren't making comic books for comic book fans anymore. They were making comic books so that they can tell a social story. And so that tanked. And then really what happened is that around the same time as it was tanking, Marvel Studios were coming up, and they were taking legacy characters and building out their stories for legacy characters. And then people who were in the comic book era, like the comic book followings, they were saying like, if you keep following the comic books, you're going to end up doing the same thing. And so lo and behold, this is the same pattern. They've literally made the movies go the same trajectory as the comic books did. And that's why comic book stores are closed. And American comic book sales are abysmal. And when you go to Indigo, the comic books, have a look at the comic book section and then look at the manga section. Comic book sections now take a portion of a bookshelf.
Right.
Manga is a hallway.
It's true.
Yeah. And it's not because I don't think it's specifically about the fact that there is no identity politics in manga. It's because manga is centered around storytelling. That's basically it. You tell good stories, people come and watch. That's what we want. Everyone wants this. We want good stories to lose ourselves in.
I think what might happen if you give us enough time is great superhero manga movies.
Yeah,
and
dude,
then we'll
I haven't seen a good.
I don't know any.
So manga is the originator for anime, and then anime movies, right? So
from what I can see, they obviously become amazing cartoons. But
Yeah.
I would like to see,
the reason why you haven't seen it is because the ones that made are absolute bullshit.
See,
Dragon Ball,
but yeah, that was bad. I saw parts of that. That was hilarious.
Attack on Titan. No one even watched it.
There was a movie on Attack on Titan. Wow.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, I think like for manga adaptations, it stops at CGI.
Wow.
Once when you get into real life, I don't think they're making one for One Piece. I think they had one for Full Metal Alchemist. No one knows. No one watches it. If you go on a manga or like an anime Reddit, no one even talks about these things, bro. It's never recommended. It's never like, hey, did you watch? We don't even know what's happening.
Jeez.
These movies, they did one for Cowboy Bebop. And It was like, yeah, they did what Netflix did it for Cowboy Bebop, and it was a flop. Yeah. It's hard to do.
Worried about this Airbender,
dude. I'm so worried,
but
because they haven't proven themselves.
Yeah, I'm excited. Whatever.
You know what they should do? They should do what Japanese people do, in general. No.
Warm their feet.
What they should do is just make the movie animated as well. Those shits make money.
I think if you're better off turning people on to excellent animated movies than trying to make them into. I think it's cheaper too, frankly. And also you're gonna get it wrong. You're gonna there's so much more you can get wrong making a real life movie compared to animating something.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah,
because Aang looks like Aang animated, right? Once when you make him into a human, I'm like, he's the wrong race. I don't know what race he should be.
I don't even consider race when I'm watching the cartoon.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, right? But once when you make him into a human, I'm like, this seems... I don't know what race he should be, but he shouldn't be this.
You know what? It's so true because it's not like I have a strong opinion that Dev Patel and the Fire Nation shouldn't be Indian. But it is like, I have a lot... It's just background questions that your brain is trying to grapple with.
Yeah.
We're like, isn't this the grandson of this guy?
Yeah.
And aren't these somewhat related in a way or whatever? It's just like,
Exactly.
how are they also... Yeah, it is confusing. It is. It does add...
You introduce confusion into the story.
Yeah, you either make them all white, or I don't know. I think you have to make them animated.
I think you make him animated.
Yeah, and if you want to make them diverse, have them voiced by different people.
Yeah.
You know, you can have them just look like whatever they look like. It's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, it was just crazy. Like, is every Fire Nation member Indian? What is happening? I know we like spicy food, but calm down.
I didn't have them when you watch the anime.
None of them are Indian.
Yeah, did they make Ahsoka and
Dude, everybody looks the same race. Like nobody.
they didn't look Inuit kind of looking like?
Yeah,
Okay, they kind of look like
they
it?
all kind of look that. I think Toph looks as much that as it's just the hairstyle.
Yeah, but if Toph was a white girl, like a regular white girl,
Sure.
it'd feel wrong.
Okay.
Right? Now, if you made her like Asian, it also feels kind of wrong. But I don't even. But the thing is that like if you ask me like what's the right casting for Toph,
Yeah.
I don't know. But I don't like any of these.
But you know what it is? If you were to give an answer, all of it is like a hybrid of Asian and white. In actuality, if the whole thing was casted by Asian and white mix, it looks right.
Yeah.
But you will not find that many extras. You know what? Give it. It's 20. There's probably the most common couples right now.
Yeah.
You may be able to do it now, and you weren't able to do it 12 years ago because
Right.
racial diversity hadn't. Just like technology didn't. Like racial diversity didn't hit a peak where you can get 100 of these, but now you might be able to.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Get 100 hybrids of white and Asian people and make this damn movie.
Yeah, but then you'd need to get some browner ones for the Fire Nation, right?
I think they're the
Where
same.
they were kind of more brown?
No,
No, they were all the same, eh?
they're exactly the same. All of them.
You know what? I think it would be better.
Yeah.
All Asian.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Sure.
I think I can take it.
You know what? I'd like to see it. I feel like you need a little bit of white. I think all of those characters were.
They did have a little bit of white.
They did.
It's because you know why?
Why?
Their accent is way white.
No, it's like you look at Boomy. That's not an Asian guy, right? You
Who's
look at
Boomy?
He's the rock bender that was also the king of Ba Sing Se at one point and stuff.
Okay.
It's Aang's friend. But like all of them, yeah, it's distracting, the racial stuff.
It really is.
Yep.
Who's directing the new one?
Man, I just try to watch these things. Because I used to get so invested by knowing all of the who's directing and I used to get really into who's writing this.
Yeah.
That was my indicator. And I just look it for what it is, and that way my hopes aren't wherever they are.
That's true, but if you see the word like the name Christopher Nolan, if you see Denis Villeneuve,
Right.
then you're like, all right, bet.
Yeah.
This is going to be good.
Yeah, I just try not to bet. I just go like, when is it out? And then I find out 3 months. I was like, it's been out. And then you watch it, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because I will not be impressed. If it's Christopher Nolan, he makes a B- movie. What if if it's Christopher Nolan, I might be expecting more. I might be like,
Yeah, you could, but here's the thing: it's Christopher Nolan. Expect
he's
more.
delivering.
He's
Yeah,
gonna deliver
he's gonna
it.
do something.
God damn, dude. Batman. See, here's why we love Christopher Nolan. Right? Christopher, because he took Batman, which is a funny concept.
Sure.
Right? It's a billionaire who dresses like a bat and he fights crime.
Yeah.
Right, in his area. Right. This is what he does.
That's true.
Right. And Christopher Nolan took it, and he's like, we're taking this really seriously.
Yes, we're taking this. I wonder if some of the people that were like reading this, like, he's taking this really seriously about this Batman. Seems to be really making it about something.
And that is the exact reason why the first step towards making a good series, in his case, is that he respected lore. And he's like, we're not making jokes here, right? People are real serious about their love of Batman, right? We're not going to make it campy. We're going to take this and we're going to be real serious about it. This guy is a billionaire. He tried to fight the good fight, couldn't do it, becomes a bat.
Yep.
And then he's able to be successful in this way.
Yeah,
Let's make this movie.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I want you to approach. This is what we wanted. We wanted you to approach all of the Marvel movies. And the first ones, I mean, they were funny because it was like freaking Robert Downey Jr. He's a funny dude.
It's true.
Right? But Jon Favreau took that shit seriously.
It's true.
You know, they're not making fun of themselves. It's not like meta humor where they're like, you know, we're turning our mirror on ourselves because of the, you know, the outrageousness of him wearing a suit of iron and whatnot. They didn't do that. The concept was respected and taken seriously. There can be jokes along the way, but like they're not trying to like make fun of themselves and then, you know, in this.
I feel like one of the Thors. I was like, are you trying to?
What the fuck are you doing,
What
dude?
are you? Why is this so campy?
Yeah.
As a tone of the movie.
Yeah.
As a tone of the movie. Like this isn't Deadpool.
Yeah.
Like what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was infuriating. Like I said, I think it's good for certain things to go on the shelf for a while. It hurts to see some things. You know, it's like the McRib. I've never had it, but like. Fat white people, you know, they're like, when it comes, they like it.
I hear tell it's amazing.
It needs to go away for a bit, you know, comes back, somebody takes it really seriously.
Yeah.
I also think a good movie will give another good movie, like the last Batman with Cedric Diggory.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Dude, they were like, hey, you know that tone this guy was doing? Let's add a little bit more of that in here.
Yeah.
Maybe add some violence for no reason.
And that's what made that movie passable. It's like,
work,
because Batman was, you know, actually in an effort to like offset a little bit of the incredulousness of a guy dressed up as a bat, you know, he's a detective.
Yeah.
Like some of the subtitles on the comic books was the greatest detective.
It's true.
Right? And so, you know, Batman was that other element, and that was what's cool about that movie with like say what is it called? The Batman? I don't know, Dark Knight? I don't know,
whatever, dude. If somebody can start naming 2 different Batmans, I'd be like, hey man, all right, I get it. You know?
I only know the Christopher Nolan one.
Yeah, I don't even know if we know the name. It's like I think Batman Beyond. You're like, oh yeah, they did have
Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and then Returns.
Batman shit, Guano. Returns maybe.
Yeah,
sure.
so.
I think the Two Towers, Batman, the Two Towers, the Fellowship of the Ring. That's the one where he teams up with Superman.
Bro, yeah. Are you gonna go back and watch them?
No, I like Christopher Bale. I like the Bale one and homeboy Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
But you know, some of those are like it's like some of those are like some of those Captain Americas. You're like, I'm not watching that one. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
The one with Bane was good too.
The one with Bane was fun. There is a taste and flavor to that one. That
darkness is your friend.
There's some stuff to that one. There is some substance to that one as well. But
holy shit, dude!
Yeah,
and he breaks his back,
dude. That guy took it seriously.
Oh, Tom Hardy takes
too seriously. It helped.
Yeah,
because you're like, hey, why I can't understand? Like, yeah, we're trying to make it so it's a problem. That's how much we're about doing this right. It doesn't work for the movie. Yeah, like that's right. Right? Good.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom Hardy. I love him. I love Tom Hardy. I even love the guy Superman.
Cavill? Henry
Cavill.
Yep.
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill.
Dude, that guy takes it all seriously too.
Yeah, that guy's a funny duck. Because I got on his Instagram and started seeing how he talks about things.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's in it.
Yeah, he's a nerd.
He doesn't go like, you know what? It's good. It's a movie. He's like, he's thinking differently than I think what he is. I'm like, oh, you're a whole different person than I thought you were.
That's because he's so handsome and also like, dude, the physique of like fantastic physique.
But also most of his movies that he's well known for are a certain type of movie that you don't consider him to be thinking of these actors and characters a certain way
as deeply as he.
Because I'm like, and that's on me. That's not on him. I respect what he's doing because I think that's what it takes to do that character right.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, you take this whole thing about this guy with a cape, you know, the story that we've all known very seriously.
Yeah,
you respect that.
I mean, there's a reason why. And yet another franchise that has gone down the drain is The Witcher. So the Witcher is based on novels written by I think a Polish writer, and then they were then adapted to video games, and then from the video games, Netflix bought the rights so that they can adapt it into a TV show.
Dang.
And so when they got him, Geralt of Rivia, to play Geralt of Rivia, this guy knows the lore. He knew everything about it. He played the video games. I'm pretty sure he read all the books. And so when they were doing the series, he wanted the series to be as faithful as it could be for the to the source material. And essentially what was happening is that he would consistently try to make it as faithful as, whereas the writers kept on wanting to put their own spin on things, right? And they wanted to write their own story. And writers need to understand, especially when you're adapting like an established franchise, we don't give a shit about what you can bring to the story. We don't care at all, right? Leave that shit at the door. You are here to adapt. You're here to find ways for you to be able to take the overall story from novels and video games and then compress it into a 12 episode season. We don't care that you want to make it more jokey, or you want to now centralize it around a new character, or make light of a thing that was really moving in the video games. We don't give a shit about any of those things. And what happens is that as more and more they veered off the course of the lore, more and more Henry Cavill was like, hey, look, this is a problem because it should be like this. Or like there was a famous scene where his horse died, and that's a big impactful moment in the video games. And in the TV show, they wanted to make it as a joke, right? And then eventually he pulled out, so he's not in the final season.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
it's like something, you know, people would do at work. It's like, you know what, I'm quitting. It's like they won't let me pay my respects to this horse. I know what this character needs, and this isn't it.
Yeah,
I'm
because
out.
he respected the character. He respected
True.
the character.
It's true.
And then, so this is one of those things where it's like sad, but like Wednesday. Have you watched Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah. That lady,
Yep.
right?
Olivia, whatever.
She knew the character so well, consistently got into not arguments, but was like, no, I feel like my character would do it this way. So much so that she pushed them to rewrite scenes so that would be more in line with her character. And as a result of it, at the end, it turned out to be a fantastic show.
You know what? It's interesting you say that, because I thought it fell apart because the character started doing things that weren't in line with herself, where she was turning on friends. Like, you're one way for X amount of episodes, but then almost like Game of Thrones, where it's like, all right, this character is now crossing the boundaries of who they are and whatever. And I was just like, all right, I guess you're wrapping it up. Last 3 episodes. I get it.
Yeah, but it was a constant battle.
I thought it was like, I thought she, like, multiple characters just started doing things
Weird
that were
things.
Yeah, where I was like, I don't know. I felt like a kid ended it for me at the end, because I was like kind of rushed the last.
Yeah, and as a result of the fact of her being at odds with the writing staff.
That's so funny. I love that, though.
Yeah.
It was like,
Do it right, dude. Do it right.
Do it right.
You know,
Take
I think a lot of times what happens is that like writers believe that they could make something original. And so when they get an opportunity to write on a show, they feel like this is an opportunity for them to highlight their own skill and their own like creativeness.
It's also a limitation of their creativeness, because it's not that like you necessarily want to put your touch on it. It's like, this is the only touch you have, is that I'm really, the thing I'm best at, hypothetically, is punching up these parts, and that's the flavor of most of it. But you get to a show where that's not what the job requires, but that's the thing you're skilled at. Yeah. And in your head, you're like, I think that's what they want, you know? Like, and also, it doesn't matter if you think this is what they want or don't want. You're like, this is what I'm good at this point in my development. Right. And then you get some weird flavors in a meal that you're like, no, this is a good meal. You don't have to put chives on everything, or olives, you know? It's like, I'm really good at olives, bro.
I know, dude. But anyway, I'm gonna try a new show called Barry.
It's about the Flash.
You've seen this? It's a comedian who he does a great Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. Cool. Bill Hader.
All right, I know Bill Hader.
Yeah, apparently it's a fantastic show. I think there's a lot of shows that are flowing under the radar.
There's so many shows, that's why,
that are actually really good, but have a very small following. So I'm gonna start, one or two of these, and stop wasting time with the ones that I'm like shaking my fist at.
Yeah, man. Just you come back to them later when you're like, I hear it's better now, and then go from there. Yeah, because it's just like there's too much content, and a lot of it's bad.
Speaking of content, let's finish off on this.
Sure.
Your thoughts on the new Tom Segura season?
I enjoyed it, man.
Special.
There's 5 bits in the special, and they all make sense to me. I felt like it was tight. I also I've seen a lot of Tom Segura, and this is how he tells his stories. And I don't know what people expect. I've seen all of them.
Yes.
And I felt like, honestly, maybe his best special, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we previously gave Tom Segura 9 out of 10 for his on our ranking of Joe Rogan friends.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So we gave him 9 out of 10 on the last one. Okay.
You didn't like this.
Okay. So when I called you,
Yep.
I was a quarter in.
Okay.
Okay. I continued watching it. I haven't seen his closer yet. But I will say this: I did not like the first half of it. I was watching it and I was waiting for me to laugh. I was smiling a fair bit of time while I was listening to it. I'm like, where are these jokes? But I think the second half started to get into it.
Yeah.
I started to like feel the vibe, and then after I was okay. But like the first bit, it was like weird and like not funny. His bits with his kid and stuff, I didn't find funny at all. Maybe a little gross. And it's weird, right? I don't normally find things. I mean, like I find them gross, but if you're making it funny, I'm like, I'm good with it. I'm on board.
Yeah.
I couldn't do the kids part.
Oh, that was cute. I get it. It's if I also was like thinking like if I'm at this show, I'm like this is fun. I wouldn't pay Tom Segura money to go see this. He does very well. Actually, you know what? He's coming to the Niagara Casino, and it's not that bad. It's like $80 at the casino.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't mind.
I still like him as a comedian, obviously. Because like our 9 out of 10 is a shared rating between you and I. So obviously he's the highest rated in all of the people that we've watched. So
that is under Joe's production company, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, I like it, man.
So what do you give this special?
I thought it was solid, like a B plus, A minus.
Out of 10, please.
Out of 10, I'd give it a solid 8.8 or 8.5, 8. A plus.
Can we just do an 8?
You could do an 8.
All right. So you're gonna give him an 8. I'm gonna finish watching The Closer because I feel like that's got to be.
Yeah.
I owe it to Tom.
I watched it while feeding my baby and putting him to sleep, and just on audio, I enjoyed it. And looking forward to the Theo Von show.
Yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't disappoint him.
Dude, I might even do a prayer for Theo Von.
We root for that kid, you know.
I want him to win so bad.
Yeah, we want you to be funny and stand up. Format
because you're so good in everywhere else. All right, people, this has been episode 399. Can you believe it? Next episode is 400. We'll be back in a week. Take care of yourselves. Good night.
Crash and flow.